Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we have yet another menu book, or bonus menu book I should be calling these. And this one is the Neo Classic competition. We have 3 races to do within this menu book. The first at Fuji Speedway, then off to the Red Bull Ring, and finally Willow Springs. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The rules of this category state that we must use racing tyres. The car must be 800 pp or less, and we can only use cars from the 80s and 90s basically. So we have a decent variety of cars from that time, and it has to be something quite quick with the 800 pp performance cap. So we've chosen the Toyota Supra GC500 from 1997, the iconic Castrol car that's been in Gran Turismo games ever since forever, and we will get going straight away. We've got an Alfa Romeo on the right. We'll easily get past them. Now we've got a little Peugeot rally car, and we'll give them a little bump through turn 1. We'll make our way through, and another Toyota Supra exactly the same as ours right in front of us. Now we have a little look to the inside, but we're not ultimately going to make the move there. So already we've got cars from 3 very different championships at the back of the field here, and towards the front of the field there's actually some Group C cars, as in like the Le Mans cars, such as the Jaguar XJR9 I believe is in this race. So yeah, there's a real variety, and it's quite interesting to see as we make the move down the inside of the Audi rally car there. And there was also the Nissan GTR GC500 from 1999, a little bit newer than our car, but I think we've got one of the turbo upgrades, which has given us a bunch of extra horsepower versus, you know, similar cars. But anyway, we continue to push on now through the final sector, and we've got another Nissan Skyline in front of us, but this one is the Super Silhouette, an absolutely mad car. I'm not entirely sure what Super Silhouette actually means, to be honest, but it's a crazy looking thing. I absolutely love it, and it is sponsored by Tomica, which is kind of funny. But anyway, we'll get past them along the straight. We've moved ourselves up into the top 10 on lap 1. It's a 10-lap race, so let's push on and see if we can gain some more places. We continue on and catch up to the BMW/McLaren F1, and we'll make the move up the inside and take that position through the final corner and up into 9th position. Continuing on another lap, then we go for a double overtake around the outside of a pair of Mercedes cars, the CLK-LM as well as the Sauber Mercedes C9, getting a bit of a swapper on the exit there of turn 1. We'll drag race them down towards turn 2, and we'll get the upper hand there with the purple first sector at the beginnings of lap number 4. We move on to lap number 5, and we've caught up to the Suzuki Escudo, who is racing in this event. We're going and make the move around the outside. We're going to have to hang this one out for a little while here as the track just continues to turn right, but we'll hold it there, and then for the left hand we'll have the inside line, and we'll get the move done down the inside and move ourselves up into P6. We continue on then to the end of lap number 6, and now the rain is coming down and we're running out of fuel, so we have 2 reasons to come into the pit lane, both to fill up on fuel and to switch to the intermediate compound tyres, which we'll probably be using for the rest of the race. So we won't quite need a full tank. We've gone just over half the race now, so yeah, we need to fill up to just about 3/4, and yeah, that will get us to the end. But the intermediate tyres go on to help us deal with the rain coming down, and now we just wait for the fuel, which thankfully goes in pretty quickly here, and we get going once again. For the rest of the race, we've come out right behind another car, so let's see if we can make the move. Not quite, so we don't quite have the same fuel economy as that Mercedes by what this seems like, because they were behind us, I believe. But anyway, we'll have to make the move in due course. So for now we've dropped into 8th position. We'll see if we can get this place back though, as we run a bit wide. Not able to do anything there, but surely through the inside line here we'll be able to get through. We give him a bit of a bump out the way, but regardless we'll move up into P7. Continuing further through the race, we eventually catch up to the leaders as everyone else around us have made pit stops, and yeah, I'm pretty sure those two cars are on the wrong tyres because we blazed past them way too easily on the way through the left-hander there, and we've moved ourselves up into first position. So we move on to the end of the race, and that's really all there was to it. It dried up a little at the end, and we had a clear view as we crossed the line to take first position here at Fuji Speedway, and that is the first race ticked off the list. I've already forgotten what this championship is called. Neo Classic, that's right. Neo Classic competition. First Neo Classic competition race ticked off, there we go, and by a significant margin, 24 seconds back to the Nissan R92. I assume that car must have been detuned given that margin, but anyway, you know, compared to a GT500 car. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that car at full power wouldn't even be allowed to race in this event. But regardless, 168,000 credits in the bank from that, which is massive. And there we have it. The first race done. Let's move on to the next one. We're headed now to the Red Bull Ring for the second race. So let's get to it as we head to the countdown. And away we go racing here at the Red Bull Ring, and this should be a circuit that I very much enjoy because it's a very stop-start kind of layout. We didn't really do the stop there at the first corner, but yeah, we ran it a little wide, but we'll soon get ourselves up to speed with the circuit in this car and get ourselves into the zone. It is a bit of a thing with the Formula 1 tracks in Gran Turismo. I tend to rush into the corners 100 miles an hour thinking the car's going to stick, and then realise that I've probably got about a tenth of the downforce that I think I do. And yeah, the car of course just goes straight ahead. So yeah, there is that as a little issue that I have to deal with, but that's just my driving more than anything else. But with a car that handles as well as this, it's not too much of an issue because this car is actually, I mean, it's certainly not a Formula 1 car, but it is very responsive and does turn quite well at high speed. Probably not as well as some of the other cars in this race towards the front of the field, but then again I'm talking about Group C Le Mans cars there. So anyway, we're charging our way through the field here on the first lap, though we're already well inside the top 10 into 8th position before we've even finished the first lap, so we are absolutely blazing on through the field. We've got the BMW slash McLaren in front of us yet again. Actually, I think that might be a different one, but anyway, we'll make the move in a straight line and get past them with ease and move ourselves up into P7 as we do keep it on the road into turn 1 this time, so we are learning as we head up the hill once again, and we'll see if we can close the margin to the next couple of cars given our straight line speed. I imagine we can in a very short order. Very late on the brakes there though, and we run into the back of the Sauber Mercedes there. We get away with it though, they don't run wide, and we are able to get the move done on the exit of turn 3. Now we've got a couple of cars in front of us as we all head along towards turn 4, and once again we're going to make up time in the braking zone, and again rear end the car in front, the Mazda losing it there, and we get through on the inside as we now have a side-by-side battle ahead of us. We're going to make it 3 wide as we sneak to the inside of the Jag and the Nissan, and we get past both of them and move ourselves up, but a bit deep there into the left-hander, and we lose those 2 places. The Jaguar gets in front of the Nissan, and we are behind them both as we try and sneak down the inside. Bit of contact made there with the Nissan, but we get away with that for the most part, and we move ourselves through and up into 4th place. Jaguar then is on the podium, so let's see if we can close down that position, and we sneak and move into the final corner. Not quite close enough, but on the exit we'll get some good power down, and we'll make our way past. We've got 2nd place right in front of us as well. Actually, the race leader is right there too, and it is the Suzuki Escudo in the race lead as we go very deep into turn 1. That wasn't exactly ideal, but regardless, we make our way through and we will take the lead as the Escudo runs a touch wide there through turn 1 and out onto the exit curb, slowed him up a bit, and that allowed us through. We move on, and it is time to come in to the... every time. Jeez. Okay. Time to come into the pits because the rain is starting to come down, and the track will begin to accumulate water on its surface. What am I saying? We need to put more fuel in the car, of course. It is late enough in the race for us to make it to the end from here, just about. So we'll need almost a full tank to get us there, but we should be able to just about do it. So we fill up right onto the mark, and then we get going once again out of pit lane. And we need to be a little bit careful here, as I mentioned, the track is wet. You can see the spray coming off the other cars around us. The Sauber Mercedes there. We come out right behind the Silver Arrow, and we'll go to the left hand side and make our way through on the Mercedes there and move ourselves ahead. And too deep, way too deep into turn 3, but we do get it turned quite nicely on the runoff area there, and we recovered that one well. We didn't even drop the spot to the Mercedes, so not too bad in the end, and we've maintained 6th place. For the time being. We're going to be gaining a few more places here, as I believe all the cars in front of us are probably still on the wrong tyres for these conditions. I assume they're still on slicks as we go around the outside of the Mazda, and we get past that absolutely screaming car there. It is one of the most amazing sounding cars in the world, I believe, the Mazda 787B, and yeah, you can hear that coming from a mile away, probably further. But we continue to put the pressure on the current race leaders and podium sitters in 4th place ahead of us at the moment. But we're going to be able to make the move. Bit of contact there with the Jaguar as we head through the right-hander of turn 9. Now down the inside into turn 10. We're going to back out of that one and bail out of that corner. Then we'll get the power down on the exit. See if we can make the move in a straight line. And we will do so to the left-hand side. We'll get past the Porsche as well and make our way up into 2nd position as we run a little bit deep into turn 1. And oh, bit of a moment there as well for one of the cars chasing us deep into the corner. But I think we all just about got away with it. We continue to push on. The Nissan R92 makes an absolute mess of that corner. I don't know what on earth was going there. But regardless, we get through and make that move on the Nissan R92, and that's about all there was for this race. So we come across the line to take a victory here at the Red Bull Ring, and that is another one that ticked off the list. This little Supra is working quite well for us. I would like to try these races in one of those Group C cars, like the Nissan or the Jag, or even the Suzuki Escudo, the rally car. That rally car that seems to start at the front and then potentially drop away a little, but still not a bad result. P7 for the Suzuki, so that is not bad at all for what that car is. I mean, it does have a ridiculous power to weight ratio. It's got, I didn't even know, almost 1,000 horsepower and weighs 800 kilograms, so it's less than 1 to 1, but it's an insane car. I really wish I had it, but unfortunately I do not. Anyway, it's time for us to get distracted for a moment, because a new car and a new event have been added to the game fairly recently. This is the Citroen DS1 Palace, I don't know how you pronounce it, that we are driving, and the event is the Sunday Cup Classic at Laguna Seca. There have been Sunday Cup Classic events in the past, but not at this circuit. This is just a one-off thing that has been added, I think just because this car was added, to give it a race to compete in, basically, as both, I guess, as a car to drive and a car for like an AI. Goodness me, I'm forgetting how to speak. Anyway, we're charging our way through the field. This car, it isn't fast, but to be fair, neither are our opponents in this one. We got old Fiat 500s, so we got the old buses, Volkswagen Beetles. What else is there? Those Autobianchi Abarths, and yeah, various other old and fairly slow cars, Volkswagen Golfs. So yeah, and of course other Citroen DS21s. But anyway, it's an odd looking car, especially at the back, but I like it. It's very unique, and I like any car that is even slightly unique. It's pretty cool. But anyway, we continue through the field. We're up now into 4th position with a move into the corkscrew. We've got another DS21 in front of us, sitting in 3rd, so we'll see if we can take that position. The race leaders are a little way up the road, and we do have 2 laps of this race to get the job done. We're almost at the end of the first, so we're almost halfway through. It seems like we've only just gotten started, but I guess that is the way Sunday Cup races are. But it does make it a challenge to get to the lead when you start at the back, even in a fairly small field. 12 cars in this one, so you know they're smaller, but they're certainly a lot bigger, as we're on the horn trying to get the attention of our friend in front of us in the same car, and there are the windscreen wipers. But anyway, we're not going to be too concerned about the rain here at Laguna Seca. It is a bright and sunny day as we make our way down the inside, but no, we can't make the move. In fact, it's the other DS21 making the move down the inside of the Auto Bianchi Abarth, and now we're going to see if we can follow them through, potentially to the outside now, and we'll also make the move, and we'll have the inside line into the right-hander, and we'll complete the pass and move ourselves up into 3rd position now, as we head under the bridge. And it's the purple first sector, of course, at the beginning of lap 2. It almost always is, as we make a bit of contact there on the exit of the right-hander. Now in the slipstream, not sure how effective slipstream is in this kind of car, but we'll see if we can make the move down the inside, sneaking it in, trying to get the nose up there, and we will just about draw alongside as we're heading into the sun here, and we are really fighting this one out, trying to get the side draft, but it doesn't really work in cars that don't have downforce, as we squeeze our way through down the inside, and we get the move done and move ourselves up and into 2nd position. The race leader a little way in front of us, so we're going to need to be aggressive through the last 5 corners or so to get this move done if we want to take the lead before the end of the race. Throwing it over the inside there and getting nowhere near the apex of the right-hander. That's cost us a bit of time, but we are, I think, gaining to purple sector there, so we are going fairly quickly as we are absolutely charging through, and we're going a bit wide there on the exit of the long left-hander. Now we throw it into the penultimate corner, trying to get the good speed through there, but it doesn't really work out for us. We're still too far back, so we're just going to have to go for a big lunge down the inside, and we absolutely pit maneuver the Volkswagen Golf that's been leading this race, and he won't even finish in 2nd position. He's going to drop down into 3rd, I think, as we're going to weave our way to the line because we've done the job here, and we'll cross the line in 1st position, and it's going to be a 1-2 in fact for the Citroen DS21s. That was a fun little distraction, but Volkswagen Golf driver probably isn't going to be a happy camper. I think I'll have to give him a wide berth after the race. But anyway, we get a roulette ticket for our efforts in that race, so let's go cash that one in and see what we get from this. There's a nice 500,000 credits there sitting at the bottom. We're not going to get those though. We're going to get that the little one at the top. What's this worth? This is 30,000. I mean, I would prefer 500, but anyway, I'll take it, I guess. Another 10-lap race of the Neo Classic competition then. We're headed now to Willow Springs, and I'm going to start by showing a previous attempt at this race. You can see race lead, lap 10 of 10, final lap. What can possibly go wrong? Well, if you're me at Willow Springs, exactly this. Goodness me. We go spinning off at the final corner, and just to top it all off, we maintain the race lead and then instantly run out of fuel. And if that wasn't enough, I saw there was a lap car coming up behind us, so I thought maybe they can push us to the finish line. Not a chance. We lose the race lead just over a second before crossing the line, and we miss out on race victory by 1.14 seconds. And that is why I don't like Willow Springs. Yes, the spin was my fault, but only at Willow Springs does that kind of thing happen. That's just so incredibly frustrating. After a 10-lap race, to throw it away at the final corner. So after that disaster, we get going again for another attempt, and we'll see if this one can go any better for us. Willow Springs is a circuit that requires like ultimate concentration. In terms of Gran Turismo, I don't usually take the racing quite as seriously. You know, I'll go bouncing off the walls and other cars and driving off the road, and I won't care about it too much, whereas in the Formula 1 games, on the other hand, you know, you almost need to drive as perfectly as possible to, you know, to maximize the car and to even be on the pace, whereas Gran Turismo doesn't really require that as much. It's a lot more fun and a lot more casual, basically. And of course you can, and a lot of people do take Gran Turismo seriously, but you know, for me it's more of just a fun experience that I don't need to take too seriously. But for this circuit, I really do need to focus hard and you know, really pay attention to everything I'm doing, because every corner, and I mean it, every single corner, has a way of catching you out as you're driving through. That final corner really tightens up on the exit quite suddenly, and that's what happened when on the previous attempt. I wasn't prepared for that, and you know, I was just you know, making it around the corner, and all of a sudden I got to the section that tightens up, and I was carrying too much speed, and ran off the road, spun out, and that was it. And you can see this corner running wide there too, and again, a little bit of a distraction from the BMW McLaren in front, and we run off the road, lose a position. We go back down the inside of the Mercedes though, and we'll find our way back through. But you know, it's just simple things like that. There was a car in front. We were trying to, you know, look around, see if we could make any kind of overtake on them, and that was the only distraction I needed to run off the road. Thankfully that one wasn't too costly. If you run off the road and keep the car pointing in the right direction, it's not too bad, but of course in that previous instance, the car, you know, just swapped ends straight away, and I didn't really have a chance to save it. But anyway, we're caught up to the Group C cars now as we make our way through, passing the Sauber, the Mazda and the Jaguar, and now the Porsche, and then the Nissan. Okay, that's not right. But yeah, we'll make the move alongside and down, or kind of around the outside of the very slight left-hander, and now the Nissan is right on the back of the Suzuki, who is in the race lead and doing a nice job to hold on, as I'm sure it's not the most streamlined thing in the world, with basically a giant parachute for a rear wing. It really puts it in perspective when you see it alongside other cars. Anyway, we enter Formula 1 mode for a while as we continue to race our way through this event, and we're keeping it clean for a while until we throw it off the road at the right-hander there, and we have to be very careful. The car can get quite significant airtime over these bumps, and as we re-enter the circuit as well, but you know, that is a mistake I've made before, losing traction as we come back onto the circuit and then spinning then. Thankfully not on that occasion. We now enter hyperdrive as we race our way through the next lap, and it is time for us to come in to the pit lane. So of course this is just for fuel. There is absolutely 0% chance of rain here because we're in the flipping Mojave Desert. So yeah, we don't need to be too concerned about that, as we get another set of slick tires on the car, and we fill up on fuel all the way to the top for this one. The car using a lot of fuel here at Willow Springs, so we need to be a little bit cautious of that. We may need to save just a little bit, and actually you can see I'm in fuel conservation mode at the moment, trying to save fuel as we once again enter hyperdrive mode. But anyway, we catch up to the Sauber Mercedes, and we'll make the move down the inside into turn number 1, and that moves us up into P5. We've got one of the back markers in front of us, little Peugeot rally car. We'll make the move around the outside and move ourselves up ahead of them. No positional gain, of course. They're running around at the back of the field with not too much pace to show in this one. Same can be said for the Alfa Romeo, but not for the next car, the Jaguar XJR9. We'll make our way around the outside of them with a bit of contact, and also getting past the Mazda 787B. We'll make the move on them around the outside, move ourselves up another position into third place now, and we've got the Porsche in front of us as well. That'll make second position if we can get past them, as we have to drop 2 wheels in the dirt on the left hand side, but we get away with it and move ourselves ahead of the Porsche. And now we once again enter Formula 1 mode as we try our best to chase down the race leader. The Nissan 992 has control of the field at the moment, but we catch up on a lap number 8, and we'll make the move nice and clean around the outside and move ourselves ahead of the Nissan. And now we just about need to push on to the end, get through the lap traffic, and that will be just about it for this one. As we now come towards the finish line to take a race victory here at Willow Springs. We run out of fuel at the end there, but it doesn't matter. We've crossed the line in first place, and thank goodness we finally got that one out of the way. That was difficult. The Porsche takes second place in this one, ahead of the Mazda and the Nissan, so bit of a little shake up in the running order of that one compared to the previous, but regardless, it is a fairly low paying event, to be honest. 120,000, that's less than the previous ones. Goodness me. Anyway, congratulations. I've got a present for you. Be sure to come by and pick it up. And then he gives it to you as soon as he says that. A 5-star roulette ticket, so let's cash this in and see what we get as a reward for this one. We get a car, and it is a McLaren GT3 650S GT3, in fact. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alrighty, awesome stuff. And there it is. Your shiny new car. Number 59. I guess that's the reference to Garage 59. Maybe it's even a Garage 59 car, I'm not sure. I don't know the livery, but anyway. I think we have enough time left to read this menu book that we have here completed, the Honda Type R menu book. So let's have a little look at this. Congratulations, you've got all 3 cars. This completes your Honda Type R collection. Once you've collected your present, I've got some stories to tell you about these cars. And there we go. Collection Honda Type R completed. And here is our shiny new car, the Honda NSX Group B rally car. Honda NSX rally car. That's an unusual combination, but well, maybe we'll give that a go one day. Anyway, 450,000 credits in, not credits, collector score. That car's worth 450,000 credits. 450 collector score goes into the piggy bank, levels us up to level 40, which is absolutely awesome. Alrighty. Well, let's see what we can learn about these cars. Collection Honda Type R. These 3 Type Rs are among Honda's greatest masterpieces. It is a priceless collection indeed. The Type R label is given to select models in Honda's roster. It is a mark of supreme craftsmanship. The 3 cars in this collection are famous for giving birth to the Type R label. They are the best of the best. Take the 1992 NSX-R, the first to be sold as a Type R. It was built to offer the best in handling, and may be thought of as the progenitor of the series. A true legend. Next, Honda had its eye on applying the NSX-R's handling to FF sports cars, leading the way with the 1995 DC2 Integra Type R, and the first Honda Civic Type R, the EK9. In the years that followed, only the best sports models were given the Type R badge of honor. Actually,
One could say that the Type R even goes back to the F1 races of the 1960s. You see, Honda was the first Japanese automaker to try its hand at F1 racing. Competing for the first time in 1964, it achieved its first victory a year later. At the time, Honda's F1 machine sported a white coat with a red emblem. This is being carried over to the distinctive white and red combination of the Type R series. Truly, the Type R badge is a declaration of the F1 racing spirit. Regardless of the model name, engine, or drivetrain, the Type R badge is handed down from car to car to ensure the evolution of the sports car. Goodness me. Why did I pick such a difficult voice to do? I didn't even usually make up a voice for those, but I felt like it today. My throat hurts. I don't even know if I can speak normally now. I just sound weird. Anyway. Before I lose the ability to speak completely, let's finish off this video. So thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I do very much appreciate it. Feel free to give me some feedback in the comments, it's always very helpful. On that, I will see you next time. Goodbye.